Yo, bro,
What's that?
I can sing and dance, but for real though, I can't wait to see
You
you
can
at
sing and
draft
dance.
night, Daddy.
Come
I
on,
can't
bro.
wait to
Come
see
on,
you
bro.
at
How I get
draft
them out?
night,
How I get them
Daddy.
out? How I get them out? How I get
Yeah,
them out?
bro. I
How I
hope
get
you
them
go
out? How
number.
I get them out? How I get them out? How I get them out? Oh, how I get them out?
Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So we have a lot to talk about for today's video. So just real quickly before we get into everything, because there is a lot to unload here, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm gonna get up in my feelings a little bit. I need to ask you guys if you can please leave a like on this video, guys. It's really good for the YouTube algorithm, as you guys know. And plain and simple, I cannot grow this channel without you guys, man. So if you don't mind leaving the like, and of course, subscribing if you are new to the channel, as we're getting so close each and every day to 300,000 subscribers. I want to thank you guys all so much, man, for all the support as of late. I really do appreciate it. But alrighty, let's talk about my favorite basketball team, the Detroit Pistons. And I don't know what it is about the Pistons, but for some reason they're like one of the most like hated franchises in the NBA. It seems like any time, which is very rarely, this team has something good going for it. It's almost like most NBA fans, I'm not saying you in particular, but there's a lot of NBA fans out there that want them to fail. They want to continue to be able to call them a poverty franchise. And yeah, man, they want to try to take advantage of any little good thing out there. So obviously, as we all know, the Detroit Pistons have the #1 pick in the draft. And when it comes down to it, man, like there's been a lot of trade offers proposed up. Some of them, not gonna lie, there's been some decent offers, but it almost seems like, people are thinking that for whatever reason, whoever gets drafted by Detroit, their career is going to be ruined. And I don't really know where this mindset came that the Pistons ruin NBA careers. I mean, just to look at two recent examples, Blake Griffin did have his best statistical career on the Detroit Pistons. We seem to all forget about that. But yeah, he dunks the basketball around the Brooklyn Nets now, right, man? So, we forget about when he was actually an all-star with Detroit. Derrick Rose, a few seasons ago, your favorite basketball team did not give him a contract. The Pistons gave him a 2-year, $15 million contract, I believe it was. And yeah, he built himself up again in Detroit and ended up going to the New York Knicks and really making, having a huge impact, in the NBA playoffs for the man. So, yeah, I don't really get the mindset where the Pistons ruin careers, but it is what it is, man. But also, I'm trying to think about why exactly the Pistons are hated so much, and I would say my best guess is because probably at some point in history, Bill Laimbeer probably punched your favorite player in the face. And I will say, yes, that Bad Boys team, me personally, I was not alive for that era, so, I can only see footage, and yeah, the Bad Boys, they were a dirty basketball team, but that was also 97 years ago, man. We are now, in 2021, right? And beyond that, I would say that it's not really so much just like the Pistons that get hate in this case. I think a lot of small market teams do. Even looking at the Phoenix Suns, people are saying, oh, like the ratings are going to be bad. Oh man, the Phoenix Suns, that's bad for the NBA Finals. I guess I wouldn't really say that they're like a small market team, but they're not really one of the, they're not the Lakers or the Celtics or a team like that, man. It's a team that's trying to get a ring and stuff, right? But, I think what some of these big market fans really dislike is when a team really builds themselves up from the ground up. Because, if you go out there and you have a team that rebuilt themselves via the draft, smart free agency signings, not just going for the big name out there, and then they beat your super team, it kind of undervalues the big market teams. That's just my opinion, man. That's just my theory about why, they get a lot of hate and stuff like that. But, yes. Another thing I want to talk about before we actually start talking about some trade Cunningham. Damn it. Cade Cunningham. I'll just call him Trade Cunningham. Oh, I feel like I just started something, man. Trade Cunningham. Damn it, I just started something, didn't I? It's all good. But alrighty. And I'm sorry, man. I'm venting here because ever since we got that first pick, and really going on for years now, man, I get tagged and stuff every single day about the Pistons, right? So it's nice having something good happen to us and just having it get, like, undermined. I know it's not really that big a deal, but at the same time, it's just kind of annoying. But, yes, I will say one of the most casual ways or comments that I get that tell me that, a particular person does not watch a lot of basketball, which is okay. We all sometimes have our favorite teams. We follow them. That's it. This is my full-time job, so I got to know a little bit about every single team, which, of course, my knowledge is not, like, the greatest out there, but I think I do pretty good, all things considered. But one of the most casual comments you get, man, is people saying, well, it is the Pistons. Like, oh, they're going to trade the pick because it is the Pistons, without realizing that we have completely overhauled the management. The comment makes no sense. Troy Weaver did not draft Darko back in 2003. Troy Weaver did not trade Chauncey Billups for Iverson. He did not overpay in free agency for Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva. He did not think that Monroe, Drummond, and Smith was a good idea. But yes, he did trade Blake Griffin. He didn't trade for Blake Griffin. He did trade Blake Griffin. But tell me this, man. Based off of what you've seen from Blake Griffin in the playoffs from the Brooklyn Nets, would your favorite team, would you personally have traded for his contract? That's 2 years of paying him $30 million. If the answer is no, then you cannot say that Blake Griffin finessed the Pistons. Because your team would now trade for him, right? I mean, you gotta think about it like this. The Pistons had an option. They could have bought him out, or they could have kept him in limited minutes of guys like, Saddiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Sekou Doumbouya, whoever they're trying to develop or play at the time, right, man? So, yeah, I mean, trading Blake Griffin was, or buying him out, I guess, was the only option at the time. And really, that was just making up for a mistake of Stan Van Gundy and, Joe Dumars, whoever else used to be the GM or president of operations, whatever, man. Those are all old mistakes by guys that are no longer part of the organization anymore. So I had to get that out of the way. But over on my Twitter account, at CrispyFlakes2K, I did ask you guys to give me some trade Cunningham. I said it again! Some Cade Cunningham trades. Some trade Cunningham Cades. Yes, some trade Cunningham Cades, man. Over my Twitter account, CrispyFlakes2K. I'm going to go hop over there real quick. Usually I go through like 4 or 5, but I just got to show you guys some of these, man, because, like I said, some of them are decent. Others just show how much, fans are trying to rip off Detroit and thinking that, well, it's only Detroit. Not realizing just the miracles that Troy Weaver worked in a season, man. Drafting 2 guys that were all NBA teams. Yes, Killian Hayes had injuries and stuff. I get that. But Saddiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, all NBA rookie teams. And all that stuff. Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, great contracts. Taking a chance on Saban Lee, who was playing phenomenal backup minutes and stuff, man. So, yes, we're going to check out some of these trades. I don't think you can say it's just Detroit. Troy Weaver's going to screw this up because he has not really signaled that he is a guy that screws things up. So, let's go check some of these out. Okay, guys, so I figured I would start with this one right here because this is the trade that's kind of been, sparking a lot of discussion about the Pistons trading Cade Cunningham, and a lot of people really, really dislike this trade. They think that the Thunder are absolutely getting ripped off. This is the trade, as you guys can see, of the number 1 pick in exchange for the number 6 pick and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the OKC Thunder. And let me let you guys know, man, I agree with you 100%. I think that this is an absolute highway robbery for the Detroit Pistons if they were to do this type of trade. I mean, obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is looking like a future superstar, all-star caliber player, and the number 1 pick typically is a superstar, but also you take on a lot of risk of them becoming like a Anthony Bennett or somebody like that. So there's definitely risk. I mean, Cade Cunningham is not a guaranteed thing by any stretch of the imagination. Meanwhile, the number 6 pick, I mean, based off years past, it's kind of hit or miss. Typically, you get a pretty solid role player or a good quality star with the 6th pick. Every now and then you might get yourself a Damian Lillard, but also you got Jan Vesely's and stuff like that happen at the number 6 pick. So that can also be hit or miss. But overall, I do think this is giving up a little bit too much for a uncertain player in Cade Cunningham. Shai is already proven at the age of 22 that he is an absolute stud in the NBA. But at the same time, you can't say that you dislike this trade for the Pistons and then offer up some BS, which we are going to go over all the trades, guys, that were offered up right here. Like I said, man, for the culture, I asked, give me your most realistic Detroit Pistons number 1 draft pick for a chance to be in a video. Typically pick a few of these, but in this case, we are going to go through all these just to kind of see, man. So this one we have right here is Sexton, the 3rd pick, and a unprotected 1st-round pick in exchange for, the number 1 pick, which obviously, probably Cade Cunningham would get drafted by the Cavaliers. So, I've seen a lot of number 3 and Sexton offered up, which honestly is not the worst. That's not really a bad trade, especially if the Pistons are really high on Evan Mobley. My issue with it is that from a front court standpoint, the Pistons are pretty much set because you would have to assume that Jalen Green's probably gone by number 3 to the Houston Rockets. So, you get Colin Sexton at the 2 spot, but now you have Evan Mobley, who probably has to play power forward because you want Isaiah Stewart probably starting at center, in the long run of things. If not, you're going to hinder his development, which means that you probably have to trade away Jeremy Grant and get something back for him, right? So you got to ask yourself this. Is it better to have Evan Mobley and Colin Sexton? Or is it better to have Jeremy Grant and the number 1 pick? And I'm just going to say, Jeremy Grant has a really good valued contract. So, yeah, in this case, while it's not a bad trade offer, I'm just like, I don't know if it makes complete sense, man. But that's just my opinion. Okay, here we have going lower than third in the draft is a big L for Detroit. So here it is. Cleveland receives number 1 pick. Detroit receives number 3 pick in Isaac Okoro. I mean, Okoro's fine. Detroit aims to get Green at shooting guard. I don't think he's going to be available right there, if I'm being 100% honest. Here we have a trade of Deshaun Tate, the 23rd pick, and the 2nd pick for the number 1 pick. I actually don't dislike this one because I'm pretty cool with either Cade or Jalen Green, all things considered. So also getting another first-round pick out of it, which we also what Troy Weaver did last year, with multiple first-round picks. It's not a bad little trade, man. Deshaun Tate also was pretty nice last year, too. Here we have the Pistons trade Mason Plumlee and the first overall for James Wiseman, the 7th overall pick and the number 14th pick. So this is his 3rd time trying to be in the video, man. Well, there you go, man. There you go. The thing about this trade is that, once again, the Pistons don't really need James Wiseman with having a young center in Isaiah Stewart. We just don't really need him, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how I feel about that. Here we have New York receives the 1st pick, Kevin Love and Kabengele. Cleveland receives Emmanuel Quickly, Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox in the 21st pick, and Detroit receives Colin Sexton in the 3rd pick. Okay. Here we have Lou Dort and Poku and possibly Bays for the 1st and Wayne Ellington. That's just not enough to get the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm sorry to say, man. It's just not happening. Pelicans trade Brandon Ingram, Jackson Hayes, and 2 first-round picks. I kind of like Brandon Ingram. Yet again, my thing about Ingram in this case is that Ingram is an all-star. He's not a superstar, and typically the number 1 pick is a superstar, with the exception of having the occasional bust. So by doing this trade, this is almost like Detroit playing it safe, which I don't know if a franchise that doesn't typically get free agents should be playing it safe in this circumstance. Because, like, yeah, you get Brandon Ingram, that's cool, but what does he do for the team really going forward, especially with having Jeremy Grant and Sadiq Bey already on the team at the forward spots? So that's my issue with that one, I guess. CJ in 2 first. We're not going to trade for a near 30-year-old shooting guard. Not going to happen. OKC gets the 1st pick in Mason Plumlee. Detroit gets the 6th pick. Some first-round picks, Darius Bazley. It just doesn't really do much for me, man. I mean, the picks are nice yet again, but I do think there's a huge difference between the 1st pick and the 6th pick in this draft class. But then again, I mean, the 2022 first round is not bad because I still think OKC at that point is going to be a bad team. So you do, you do take on the chance of getting a top 5 pick again in that case. We got Peck here saying nothing. You keep that pick and build slowly with all the young talent you have. That's where I'm at with things. I mean, I'm just like, hey, like, we don't really need to trade the pick. Cade's already gone on the record to say he wants to play for Detroit. So, yeah, this person where I'm at with things, where it's like, I just want to keep it. Like, I want to get somebody that wants to be here and it's not traded here, because if you could just look, I mean, we all know how Blake Griffin ended, man. Blake Griffin was a superstar player. He was traded to Detroit. We all know he didn't really want to be here. I don't want that case to happen again. So, yeah, all right, we're just gonna skip that one. Another Brandon Ingram one. Okay. Another Colin Sexton one. We got one involving Christian Wood. Yeah, I know Christian Wood wants to be back in Detroit so bad. Pick number 6 in Schaefer, OKC. Yeah, we saw this one before. And this we have an OKC fan replying saying, 0 shot we do this. We have 17 other first round picks to give, including 3 this year. Very true, very true. And I don't blame the OKC Thunder for not wanting to trade Shea away. It's like I said, that's already a guard that looks like a superstar. Jeremy Grant Plumlee, a number 1 for Siakam and number 4. Siakam, I guess, is only 26, but then again, I don't really see how he fits in the rotation with Jeremy Grant already being on the team with Sadiq. Number 4, I mean, at that point, you're looking at Jalen Suggs, and Jalen Suggs and Killian Hayes just would not work. Those are 2 guys that you want playing the point guard spot, whereas opposed to Cade being 6'8", I do think he could play some off ball or vice versa with Killian Hayes. Pick number 5 and Cole Anthony or Fultz for the pick number 1. We don't need either one of those players in Detroit. We got to trade for Reggie Jackson. Fantastic. LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma for the 1st pick. That'd be fun for a season, but yeah, I'm actually not doing that, man. Some Papa John's pizza. Yo, we get breadsticks too. Instead of a bag of Lay's, I want some breadsticks, man. We got Kobe White, Lauri Markkanen, 2022 first round pick for the 1st pick. No, don't really want that. Don't really want that. Karis LeVert, Miles Turner in the 13th pick. I do love Karis LeVert. Not doing it. Yeah, man. See, the thing about a lot of these trades right here is that if the roles were reversed and your team had the first pick, would you accept that trade? You got to ask yourself that. I'm going to say a lot of cases, probably the answer would be no. Yo, it's me, man. Why do people use my ugly face as a profile picture? Also, that was the picture at my grandma's funeral, so thank you for using that one. Great memories today. We got, I'm kind of scrolling through these kind of slowly so you guys can read them if you want to. Number 1 pick for the number 5 and number 8 Packers with Isaac and Bamba. Damn, that's a load right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I don't mind that one. I do not mind that one whatsoever. Isaac has a lot of injury history, but yeah, if you can get him 100%, man, I actually, hey, yeah, I like me some Isaac for sure. And here's a dude saying, yeah, don't want to ruin Wiseman's career. I look at the 2004 Detroit Pistons, man. Chauncey Billups was a guy that was flipped around mini franchise for finding home in Detroit. Rip Hamilton was behind Michael Jordan in Washington. You know, Rasheed Wallace was known as just like this cancer in the locker room, loudmouth type of dude. Ben Wallace was undrafted. Tayshaun was a quiet kid from Kentucky. It's like, yeah, but, you know, I guess we ruined all those careers, right? I don't understand the mindset there, man. But okay, that's all we got for these right here, man. You know, a few of these were decent nonetheless, but I think I agree with Pack in saying that let's just keep the damn pick, man. But, you know, all things considered, I did want to talk about some trades just because it's fun to do. It's a big part of my channel is talk about trades and stuff. And, yes, with that being said, full disclaimer, I will not actually retire from YouTube, so you guys can, you know, bookmark this if the Pistons do trade the pick. I love this job, basketball, and you guys way too much. That's all we got, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.